Hello, EU. That's right. This is Prove Your Skill number 5, the final group stage for PYS number 5. That's right. We're following Serenity. They're going out on the hour, I believe. Let's just check that. I believe they are against S4W. Yes, they are. And they're going out on Yukon. So without further ado, let's have a look at Yukon. Where have I got it? Where is it? Where did I put it? There it is. Yukon. Wow, what can we expect with you? I hope everybody's fine today. I hope everybody's having a good day here on this fine Tuesday, 11th of May. There are holidays everywhere. Where I am in the UAE, it is now Eid al-Fitr. So, Eid Mubarak. Even though most of you probably aren't celebrating Eid yet. You probably celebrate it more tomorrow, but we have it starting a day early here. And for those over in certain other countries like Ukraine, Belarus, it's also a holiday for you, I believe. Radanista. Anyway, this is Yukon. Nice map, lovely map. I like this map. What are we expecting to see? Well, from this spawn, we're expecting to see some heavy tanks moving into the fast cap. This B doesn't always happen, but that's what we're expecting. And at the same time, we're expecting possibly some lights and mediums going this way to try and get those spots there at the D cap and possibly cap it. Normally from this spawn, unless they're being ultra aggressive, you'll probably get some tanks, some clans, taking their heavy tanks down towards some this side, looking to sort of put a bit of pressure on that A cap. If, however, they're being aggressive, and it's not uncommon, they'll go round here and probably start peeling into this area to try and put pressure on the C cap both left and right of this rock. From the other spawn, well, it depends, as I say all the time. If they're feeling ultra aggressive, well, they will push their heavies and their tanks down here. Keep on the outside of this rock so as not to get spotted. Come all the way around here and then push into the back of the B cap. That's what normally happens if they're being ultra aggressive. Alternatively, they will take a light tank and something along those lines, bring them up around here, try and get those early spots and see if they can get any information. Super heavies, well, if they deploy them, may not, they may just employ heavies. They'll send them into this cap here, the C cap, get a fast cap, and then just wait and see with some of their heavies going out towards this cap, holding off behind this rock for the moment while their hold down tanks like the E5 and the Crown Wagon sit up here and try and keep that area being looked at. 9 times out of 10, the brawls area between on this map are around this area and sometimes in this area. So it all depends. It depends on the meta and it depends on the strats. That's just a rough overview of what we can expect. The other map, I've completely forgotten. I've completely, utterly forgotten. I can't remember what it was. Oh, what was it? I've completely lost my mind. Oh, I did know it and I've forgotten it. Winter Malinovka. Oh, look at that. I'll remind it as soon as we get in. It's Winter Malinovka. That's the decider, so let's have a quick look at that one. It is only the decider though, so we may not get that far. Depends. It is, after all, Serenity versus S4W. And Serenity at the moment riding high in the leaderboard. Anyway, let's see what we've got here. So, Winter Malinovka, not a bad map, old map, realistically, in the tournament scene. What can we expect? Well, we can expect them to send their lights and their mediums down here, get those early spots overlooking that A cap, and the same, realistically, from the other side, looking to put their tanks here. Now, if the clans are being aggressive, and it's not uncommon to see that, you will see them sending some heavies maybe down here, like the IS-4s and the E5. Some may peel off and sit on this bank here overlooking that B cap. Others may look to try and get around the back of the other team. However, it all depends what the lights and the mediums spot, to be fair. It is not uncommon to see them deploying a mouse or an E100, any sort of super heavy like that. Sometimes, well, some clans will stick them around here just to be a pain in the backside. Others will stick them here to overlook that B cap and try and get the resets. From the other side, again, it's not uncommon to have a mouse or an E100 park its backside on this corner of this building with maybe in the alternative around here just to get some shots across. If they do go for the C strats, as we just passed that Messerschmitt, then they won't do what you see in pub games, which is hanging around here. They'll try and get to this position as soon as possible. That way they can use their haul down capabilities put pressure on the C cap. From the other side, well, it's nice to get your E5s around here because it is very nice. You're able to keep it nicely haul down and again put the pressure on. The brawling areas for this map, is normally around between the C and the B cap, but it's not uncommon to have it around here as well between the A and the B. Again, it depends on the meta and it depends on the strats. So that's what we've got to look forward to in real terms. I can't tell you exactly what their strats are going to be, I'm afraid. It just doesn't work that way. These guys have multiple strats for these maps, and they just decide to pick their meta on the day, and they go with a particular strat that they've been looking at, practicing, and everything. We've got the room, so let's jump in. We'll accept, and then jump back out again, because whilst I have a delay, the delay is not truly massive, but it's good enough, I tells you. Da-da-da-da-da. Don't forget, I'm not the only one streaming today. There are 3 others. That will be, I'll get through that in a moment, bear with me. So the other streaming will be, if you want to know, if you go down to in your garage, go down to the cup, which is tournaments, go to current, go to prove your skill, go to streams, and you will see I am streaming S4W versus Serenity. Amunet has got BPS versus A1N1. Every has got APA versus Sparta, and Wild Ones Happer as Reckham versus Raid. All of us are following, whilst we're following particular teams, I was teamed up with Serenity as of yesterday. We are following it all the way through the brackets, so it doesn't matter if the team goes out or not, we will all get through those brackets in any event. So we're just waiting now for the timer to roll down. It'll roll down soon enough. We've got plenty of time, to be perfectly frank and honest with you. Let's jump back in. We should be at the 3-minute odd mark now. 2 minutes, there we go. Let's jump in. So we will have S4W on the north spawn here on Yukon, Serenity on the south spawn. Serenity is rented up first. We have Pipu Devil in a Kranwagen, Flytix in an E5, Pipu Jail in a because Pipu Plat, as in platinum, not platoon, in an IS4. Hi Andy, how's it going, mate? Spitfires in an IS4, Days in an E5, and Alpha in a Kranwagen. Still waiting for S4W to get their teams in, so they're not there just yet. Oh, they are now. And they all changed their names. And I haven't streamed S4W, to be fair, so it looks like this is Kylo Ren. So, yeah. We have Kylo Ren in a Kranwagen. I like lights in an E5. So, sort of a misnomer there. I like lights, but I'm going in a heavy. I don't know how to say that. Lascaria? You have to tell me, guys. Lascaria, maybe? I don't know. But Lascaria is in an E5. Kylo Ren is in a Kranwagen. This is Paper Psyker. Paper Psyker in a T22. Pushek Love Shadow. That's very nice for Shadow. Is in an E5. Rush and Kill. Almost like the name YOLO. No, I'm joking. Rush and Kill in a T22. And Romeo Jones. Breaking up the Joneses in the Kranwagen. So just go through it again. Kylo Ren in a Kranwagen. I like lights now in a super heavy, which is a mouse. Lajasia in an E5. Paper in a T22. Project of Shadow in an E5. Rush and Kill. T22. Romeo Jones, Kranwagen. I like lights. Debating. Do I go with a mouse? Or do I go with a light? Mouse, light, mouse. No, sticking with the mouse. It's a mouse all the way for him, bless. So that's all good. So this is round 16, final stage, group 1, previous hill number 5. Looking to let go cups. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, if looking at the table, I mean, S4W are down in 11th. Serenity are in 2nd, I believe. I believe they're 2nd. Let me just check, just to make sure. There we go. Yeah, they're still in 2nd. Serenity are still 2nd. So, There we go. So let's have a look at those hit points. Well, it's going for Serenity at the moment, despite the fact that S4W does have a super heavy in the form of a mouse. They do have, however, two T22s, which will bring that HP pool down. It's not massive, it's a couple of hundred. Anyway, let's forget that and get up high into the back of the map. Now, as you can see here, already they're going for that fast cap at B with the Kranwagens moving out towards that overlook on the A cap. The T22s, Paper Psyker and Russian Kill. Russian Kill going a bit higher. T22 of Paper Psyker is overlooking the D cap. Pretty much where I said they go. People Jail there in the Vickers, also pretty much where I said he'd go. Moving over, well, we've got Spitfires and Pipu Platt in the IS4s jumping into the C cap. B cap will be taken quickly, however. And then we've got the E5s and the Kranwagens of Serenity moving around towards that A cap. Flytix dropping in. Cap points and cap advantage, well, initially it went to S4W, but now it's probably going to go to Serenity because they will cap A quicker than S4W will cap D. So they will pretty much get the caps, get the points, may just bring it back up again, but S4W will still hold the advantage. You can see Pipu Devil here is getting very well forward. Kylo Ren and I Like Lights just holding back. Spitfires here also trying to push a bit forward. Basically, S4W now are just going to consolidate. Essentially, they're just going to defend this B cap. That's all they need to do. They don't need to do anything else. They have the advantage. It's not a big advantage, but it's an advantage. So all they should need to do is just hold and wait for Serenity to make their move. This is why we got I Like Lights, Kylo Ren on this side, and Pushekal of Shadow and Lashkaria. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm really sorry, guys. So we will see what's going down. Well, we've got Pipu Jail making a move over the side in the Vickers there, along with Pipu Platt in the IS4. Flytix probably... Oh, Pipu Platt gets a bit of a smacking bar from Romeo Jones there. But Romeo Jones gets a smack back, just to tell him that, you know, we're not having it all one way. There we have Kylo Ren also getting a bit of a smacking. So at the moment, S4W is being blared slightly more than Serenity. Well, when I say slightly more, I mean like, you know, a little bit, tiny little bit. It's not big, it's not massive, it's not huge. It's just a little bit. S4W is still going to just defend in numbers here and in depth, waiting for Serenity to push onto them. Serenity know this is what's going to happen. That's why you've got Pipu Jail there trying to push around. But he's got to be careful. Those two T22s can give him a hard time. And he is a very lightly armoured Vickers. So he can't be overly aggressive, Pipu Jail. He knows that. He's not a muppet. He knows exactly what he's doing. Now, Pipu Platt is rotated all the way back to the spawn. He's going to join up with Flytix. And it's what's going down here. So Pipu Devil, again, they're pushing ever so slowly forward. They're trying to think about who are they going to focus. And Pipu Devil, I think, would like to focus Kylo Ren. But now we've got Pushekal of Shadow pushing out. And it is Kylo Ren that Pipu Devil is after. And he's probably given the order to Calford as well to sort of try and put shots in. So Kylo Ren here has lost, well, half his hit points at the moment. Oh, that's a great shot from Daze coming in from the other side. Can't knock that. That is a brilliant shot. Now, keeping an eye on all the T22s are making a move. So actually, S4W are looking to push. They're going to try and push onto Pipu Platoon. Pipu Platt. Sorry, Platoon. It's not Platoon. It's Platt and Flytix. They're off into that. So these two are going to rush in. That's going to send the signal for the others to rush over the other side, which they do. They take down Kylo Ren. They're now going to be toying with a mouse, so they need to rotate if they can because they're going to lose Platt and Flytix. Flytix is down. Platt is in an IS4. It's going to be a lot harder to whittle him down. Well, it's going to take a lot longer. But he is being surrounded by S4W. And, you know, the Spitfire's coming in there. Puts a good shot into Romeo Jones. Pipu Platt is doing exceptionally well here. Okay, he just lost 1,100 hit points. But he's doing exceptionally well, to be fair. Down he goes. But the cap points are now in favour of Serenity. However, they've got to get tanks out the game. Paper Psych is one of the tanks they're looking at. Here we've got, oh, and Romeo Jones is the other one, so they need to get a tank down, and Serenity have now taken the lead. They're almost there. They did catch up with those points, and there they win it with Romeo Jones being taken out by Days. That was a great game. Really, really great game. Can't really fault either team there. I mean, S4W, they saw that they could have a slight advantage on the other side. They pushed down onto it, but it took them a long time to get rid of Pipu Plat. To be fair, Pipu Plat, whilst he may not have done a lot of damage, he tied up those tanks for a long time, allowing the rest of his team to take out both the mouse of I Like Lights and the clan dragon of Kylo Ren, and then push round and take out Romeo Jones. Really, really good stuff by Serenity. Really good stuff indeed. They bided their time, they didn't panic, and that was good stuff, and very, very good focus fire. Romeo Jones there just topping the hit points board there with 3.1k. Pipu Devil, yeah, you just need a bit more, man. Anyway, we're going to swap those spawn points here on Yukon. This time we'll have S4W on the south spawn, Serenity on the north. Both teams are readied up, so for S4W we have Kylo Ren now in an E5. I Like Lights, still not in a light. He is in an E5, potentially. I don't know how you say it. Lajasia? I don't know. Lacara? I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. In an E5, I'm going to call you Ale. I'm sorry, it's just Paper Sight in a T22, Pushek Love Shadow in an E5, Rush and Kill in a T22, and Romeo Jones in the IS4. I Like Lights, still not in a light, he's in a clan wagon. There you go. Moving over to Serenity, they are, as I said, on the north spawn. We have Pipu Devil in a clan wagon, Flytix in the E5, Pipu Jail in the Vickers, Pipu Plat in the VK90, Spitfire's also jumping into a VK90, so double VK90 strat here. Days in the E5 Alpha in the clan wagon. They do have some mobility, Serenity, with that Vickers Light, but they don't have anywhere near the mobility that S4W have with those T22s and E5s. However, they do have those VK90s, which will be looking to dominate the middle area. Let's not kid ourselves. Hit points will go in favour of Serenity with the two superheroes in the form of the VK90s. And I'm expecting them to get into that B cap and then dominate around that area. But these guys take everybody by surprise. You never really know. Let's get up high into the back of the map. And as we can see, T22s, Paper Psych and Rushing Kill will go out wide again towards the D cap. The rest of the team, well, they're going to fast cap C and then push around to the A cap. Pretty much like I showed you in the flyover. Moving around to see what Serenity's doing. Well, Pipu Jail is not going for the spots around the D cap. The VK90s are going to jump into the B cap as I expected. Pipu Jail is just trying to see if he can get spots around the middle area. Pipu Devil in the Crown Wagon is pushed very, very far forward. But that's nothing to be unexpected. It's normal strat. Alpha just holding back here in the other Crown Wagon. Moving around, we have Flytix in the E5 just holding back. And Days is just going to be trying to spot those T22s. He does spot them. Puts a shot across, doesn't do any damage, but damage comes back and it doesn't pen. So he now knows that the T22's there, and with him being there, he's sort of denying anybody getting that cap. So at the moment, S4W again, they've got the cap advantage. They took the cap first, but Pipu Jail, Flytix now joining up with Days, looking to put some pressure onto those T22s. The VK90s are going to hang around the B cap. Pipu Devil is just rotating back to the spawn behind Pipu Plat, expecting a push to come down there, I think, in the form of Romeo Jones. Romeo Jones is in his IS4 in a great little position just behind that. Makes him haul down, keeps his bottom plate nicely covered, and because it's a pretty flat position, he's able to sort of put a lot of pressure onto the VK90 of Pipu Plat. However, around this side, the D cap has now been taken, so Serenity will start getting more cap points now. You can see the T22s of Rushing Kill and Paper Psych. Paper Psych's gone right the way to the back of the map. Rushing Kill is going to join him. The E5 of Pashek Love Shadow is joining up with LA. Kylo Ren and the E5 just staying in that C cap. Now it's all changed. Now Serenity just need to wait for S4W to push them. Pipu Jail is going to stay at that position because he will then see anything that's going to come round that flank. So it's a great little spot to be in. Flytix is also there just to give a bit more additional cover. Pipu Devil is going to come from behind and back up Days. VK90s ain't going to move, and they do have Alpha there. We need to get over the other side of the map because, as I said, it's S4W who need to make the move. Romeo Jones is just going to be a pain in the backside and keep them occupied and keep Serenity guessing as to where they're going to be. So S4W are stacking their tanks up down this flank, looking for that push, trying to stay unspotted, which is normal, because they know that tanks will be there trying to look for them. I like lights in the Crown Wagon. Paper Psyker is just a little bit forward, but the E5s and the other T-22 Russian kill just holding as far back as they can behind this rock, staying out of sight, waiting for those points to start trickling up. I'm thinking by about 700, maybe 750, they'll start that push and that movement forward. But that's what we're waiting for, basically. You can see that they are eager to go here. Serenity don't need to do anything, and they're not intending to do anything at this moment in time. Serenity, if you look at the mini-map, you can see they're on a broad front. Serenity trying to defend their two caps, B and D. They've got 3 around the D cap. Basically 3 around the B cap. Sorry, 3 around the B cap and 3 around the D cap. Now, we're at the 800 mark, so S4W should be looking to make a move. But they're not. Well, Romeo Jones is making a move. Romeo Jones is making a move, all on his Todd. Alpha's there, the VKs are there. Now the rest of the team start making a move. This may be a little bit too late for S4W. They may have timed this. Well, they're going to try and time it so they can get into the D cap, with Romeo Jones being the feint, pushing everybody in towards him. But the 900 points here for Serenity, they could have left this a bit long. PP Devil and Flytix now coming in. They're going to just be looking to reset that D cap. And here comes Daze as well, and that's exactly what they're looking to do. I mean, S4W gets as many tanks as they can into the D cap to try and make sure it doesn't get reset. But Romeo Jones is being bled. I like Lights is being bled. I like Lights is on 82 hit points. They're going to be looking to try and take him down. People jail will, and it's going to go to Serenity. I think S4W just left that a little bit too late. Romeo Jones also went down, but he was the sacrificial lamb. I think S4W left that push a little bit too late. They should have gone a little bit sooner. They put themselves under pressure. It's a lot of ground to cover from the back of that spawn. And, well played. As you can see, Serenity dishing out 6,400. Low damage game, but it was more about jostling. I like Lights going down for a 0, unfortunately, but he was focused as he came through. Romeo Jones did his job, but as I said, I mean, I know I'm criticising, I'm being an armchair general, but I think they left it a little bit too late. So, Serenity will progress at the expense of S4W. So, congrats to Serenity, commiserations to S4W. Let's have a look and see what else is going down. Have we got any others? If you don't mind, I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee. I needed that. So in the quarterfinals of Group 1 so far, we have A1N1, Serenity, Endgame, Reti, and Vale. My clan. Woohoo! Go Vale. Vale went out against Cash, turned them over 2-0. They will now be facing A1N1 in the next round, which is the quarterfinal. Reti, well, they went out against Quick, and they beat them 2-0, so we don't know who they're going to play yet. Endgame, well, they had a bye, so they haven't gone out at all yet. A1N1, they also went out against BPS, turned BPS over 2-0, so, and as I said, they will face Vale. So we're still waiting for Loca. Loca out against KV4, so that's obviously still an ongoing game. And we're still waiting for Raid as well. And Raid are out against Recum again. It's an ongoing game. Raid are looking to try and get back into the top 8. Same as Vale. Loca, I'm pretty impressed with Loca at the moment. They're on their charge back into greatness. APA, well, they went out against Sparta and they're still going. So, still quite a lot to do. We're with, as I said, Serenity. They haven't got anybody yet, and we're going out onto Castilla and Normandy. So let's have a quick flyover of Castilla and Normandy. By the time we've done that, well, we'll be in a position to see who are the big losers and the big winners on the night so far. So this is Castilla. Castilla officially, I call it Castilla, but that's just me because I'm weird. From this spawn, what can we expect? Well, this is the usual Castilla. And now, one of the only maps that you generally see a TD, sometimes a light tank may go up here, sometimes a TD may go up here just to overlook that area and that sea cap and that ridge. It's normal though to stick the TD over around here, assuming they take a TD. Normal to take that light tank, sometimes a medium or a light up to this point, not to cap the A cap, just to get the spots and just to stay on this area here, making sure that the A cap doesn't get taken. At the same time, it's desirable sometimes for some clans to take their IS4s, for example, down around this building here, side scraping off here, but they've got to be careful because clans do like to put a tank in that bush for that very reason. Some clans, however, like to send their Vickers or even their medium over to this area because then they get a good view of quite a lot of the map, and the Vickers has got exceptionally good spotting range, so you never know. From the other spawn, well, it's not uncommon, as I said, for them to take a heavy tank, take it straight over this ridge here, straight up here, and stick it into this bush just to do that overlook. It's also not uncommon to take an E5 or some other hold down tanks and get to this position here. But you've got to be careful and you've got to drop their boosters because if there is anything going over there, they will spot it. Now, yeah, I do see strats, and there are strats which are super aggressive strats where clans push everything through the sea cap, and that's basically like a really aggressive strat. It's not often employed, but that's not to discount it and say it never will be employed. It can work from both areas, but you just never know. Rest of the team, well, we're looking at the lights and the mediums. They are generally going to go up to the castle area. You may get a clan sticking an IS4 or an E5, normally an IS4, into this position here, behind this rock, just to get the resets on that cap. With the E5s coming up here, staying on this ridge, getting down, pushing along here, sometimes as far as this so they can put pressure on that ridge. They can also put pressure on anything going into the A cap, and they can also rotate out. And when they're here, there's no danger if there's anything over that side putting shots into them. The brawl area, well, we do get brawls around this area. We get brawls around the A cap. And we get brawls around the B cap. It all depends what strat they are going to do. I generally find that with Castilla, you normally get like 4 to 5 minutes of utter boredom and then 2 minutes of absolute mayhem. It depends what strats they do. They're going a bit more aggressive nowadays, so you just never ever know. Coming out, was it Normandy? I can't remember. I think it was Normandy, wasn't it? See, I've forgotten again. Pretty sure it was Normandy, but I've forgotten because I'm clueless sometimes. It was Normandy. I was right. So let's jump into Normandy and have a quick overview on that. It may get that far, you just never know at this level because this is the final stage. So Normandy, another great map. Einsgederian, no, there are no rewards other than my laid-back, engaging and entertaining persona, and of course the amazing gameplay that you're going to see from the clans. Trust me, those rewards are much better than an avatar that looks like a trumpet and a couple of boosters that you'll get for free anyway in the game. Anyway, aside from that, let's get up high, get to the back of the map. So this is Normandy, really, really big map, and it's a lovely map. Now, there are numerous strats on this map, and what I've seen recently is clans putting like a T22, even a Leo in this position to overlook that cap. And from the other side, that bunker there, doing the same thing. You then see them taking like their lights around here just to get a little bit of spots with the rest of the team heading over this way. Now, if they are super aggressive with E5s and Cranwagons, you may see them push up and over this ridge and try and get either to the plane, which hasn't come in yet, look, it's over there somewhere, or to this area here to put pressure on. It's very, very aggressive though. 9 times out of 10, you may see them push a couple of tanks into here, and then a couple of tanks out wide, staying low, and getting to this point to put some pressure on. That way they can then flank round. From the other point, well, again, you get tanks going this way, and you get tanks again trying to get into this big wide area, trying to use these dumps, these umps and dips to put a bit of pressure on. Not uncommon to see tanks going this way, but there's only 2 caps here, and one of them is always going to be covered in some description. So the majority of the brawling area is actually around this part of the map. And again, it depends what their strats are, and it depends what meta they're going to take. But Normandy is a great map, always set to have some good fun. Not many stalemates take place. Right, we should have all the results in now for the tour. Let's see who are the winners and who are the losers. So, A1, N1 are through, Loca are through, Serenity we know, Raid are through, Reti and Vale. That means Spartan went out. I think Quick went down, did they not? Quick went down to Reti. K4, well, they went down as well. They went down to Loca. It was very close, though, 2 and 1. So, we're not waiting for any more. That is who we're facing. So, Raid will go out against Endgame. Oh, that's a tough one for Raid, who are trying to claw their way back into the top 8. That is challenging indeed. And I've got to feel sorry for them there. Anyway, we've got about 10 minutes, so let me get a replay up and running if I can. Where is it? Here we go. We've got some replays to play here. I'm going to drop my ugly mug off. You don't need to see that. And let's go have a look with Yusuf going out in his Vickers Cruiser onto Clan GNA. And he's with... Is that Fizzy? No. So, just enjoy this while I go and grab some more coffee. Okay, I'm back. Hello. Coffee in hand. Yes, coffee is needed. So here we go. Look at this Vickers Fest. That's what it is. I do like the Vickers. Nice little tank. Oh, look at that. Fluctuating FPS. It's because it's a fluctuating ping at the moment. Don't know why, but it just is. Hello, Sleepy Jason. I'm glad you think so. Thank you very much. I hope it is. Try and make it slightly entertaining if we can. Try to make it engaging. It's pretty difficult to engage with all of you, unfortunately, because I do have a delay on the stream because, yeah, it is basically a tournament, so there is a delay. And that delay sort of doesn't really help, if I'm being honest, because it doesn't allow me to interact with you guys. However, I do see and read the chat, so by all means, comment. You know, I will pick it up, I will see it. You just won't hear my response for about 4 minutes. That's all. Good old Yusuf here pushing onto this E75. Tracks him, puts him in his place. Oh, that's a good shot back from the E75, but they are in a bit of trouble here. Looking for that AMX. That's a... Unfortunately, the AMX just turned a little bit. Wise move to try and smack him with the HE, though. AMXs don't like HE up them. Like I said, don't forget there are other streams out there, guys. It's not just me. I'm not the only one streaming today. Every Good Name Is Taken is also out there. Same as Wild Ones Helper. Same as Amunet. So it isn't just me. So they are streaming the other areas, so feel free, guys. Don't feel obliged to just watch me if one of your favourite teams are out there. It's not a competition, and I don't hold it against you. Simple as that. Down goes the Vickers Light here. Too bad, so sad. Bye-bye. He was sat in the open a little bit. Sheridan is also going to make the same mistake. He's still alive, but he made the same mistake. I mean, if you're going to cross like that, it's not going to be helpful. Trust me. Now the AMX is getting a bit of a pummeling. Now he's using the HE more effectively. Gets that side. Oh, the AMX managed to turn his turret just in time. Maybe he'll get the E. Yes, a good shot into the E75. It's very nice. E75 now is a one shot. That's a good shot back from the E75. However, side on. Oh, he just tracks him. That was very lucky by the E75. However, he will get him on the reload and get that bottom plate, hopefully. Oh, he low rolls him, leaves him on 32 hit points. That was not what he wanted to do. I can assure you of that. Finally gets rid of the E75. Just the Sheridan, the AMX. There goes the Sheridan up in the open. Boom, there we go. Nice 383 roll into the back of a Sheridan. Down goes the AMX. Sheridan's going to be worse for wear. 483, that's a nice high roll there in the Vickers. That's 1 against 2. He's going to get the drop on the Sheridan because of his reload. We know the Sheridan is just fired. He needs to get round there though and get that Sheridan out the game before he does fully reload. Yusuf tentative here. He knows that the Sheridan is now fully reloaded, so he's got to be careful. They're both proxy spotted, so it's not like he can do anything apart from just stay on the base and wait. He's already done 3.9k damage. Pretty difficult to reset your camo when you're being proxy spotted like this. One of them has got to make a move, on the red team that is. One of the enemy tanks has got to make a move. They don't have a choice. You can see the Sheridan is trying to reset his camo. Thing is, if he resets, then he will lose the Vickers view because the Vickers does have a better view range. But he has been spotted though. And that's because the Sheridan reset and now he's pushing. Boom, that was not a good idea, but hey, it worked. Now it's just the TD left. I think it's a tortoise. 4k damage dished out. Is he going to win this on caps? Oh, he's AFK apparently. Yep, he is AFK, so free damage. Get to do some farming. Nothing wrong with farming. Farming is good. It's going to knock him up a lot because he's almost 2,000 hit points there. That's going to put him almost into the 6k mark. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Farmer Yusuf here. Farming a tortoise. Why not? By the time he's farmed this, it'll be time to jump into the room. There we go. And it's all over, and a well-deserved mastery, just shy of the 6k. Nicely done, Yusuf. Bit lucky there with the taunt, though. Anyway, we've got the invite. So, let's jump into that room. Which is the quarterfinals. It's Loca against Serenity here on Castilla. We will have Serenity on the north spawn and Loca on the south spawn. So that's what we're doing. It's going to be interesting to see how they play this one. As I said, I mean, sometimes it's sheer mayhem, sometimes it's just chess. We don't know. Oh, look at that. I forgot my webcam. I always forget my webcam. I'm back. Hello. They've got quite a bit of time. Just over 2.5 minutes. So... This is the bit that it takes a long time. This initial preparation, because they've got to give them time because they go into training rooms, they get their strats down, and they have to give them time to sort of get around and, you know, refocus. But Serenity at the moment, well, we're just waiting for people dogging Spitfires. We're just coming up to the 2 minutes to go mark. At the moment, we have Peepoo Devil in a Kranwagen, Peepoo Jail in a Vickers, Peepoo Platt in an E5, Days in an E5, and Alpha in an E5. Peepoo Dog jumping into an IS4 and Spitfires, well, he's still potentially in an E5. Moving over to Loca, well, we have Foxtastic in a 268, so we are going to see a TD on this map. Playmaker in the IS7, the Phoenix in the Kranwagen, Vanasaur in a Vickers potentially, Ventastic in a Kranwagen, Unif Panjani in a Kranwagen, and Oot in a T22. So you can see there, a bit more mobility with a Vickers and a T22, but they do have a TD. Now the E5s that Serenity are using are incredibly mobile. Let's not underestimate that. They are mobile. And they have Peepoo Jail in the Vickers. So it's not like they haven't got any mobility. The Kranwagen also is a quite mobile tank. Loca will be looking to use that 268 to the best of their advantage. Therefore, they're going to stick it in one of the two places that I gave you an overview on. They are spawning from that side, so it does give them that choice. Anticipating Playmaker to go where I showed you where the IS4s are. Don't know where the rest of them go. I mean, Playmaker might jump out the IS7 here. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see how Loca play this one with those Kranwagens, because there's a lot of Kranwagens. The T22 is probably going to be going. They're probably going to be going to the Castilla area, and Playmaker is probably going to be overlooking the B cap. Serenity, on the other hand, well, they should be looking for the castle area and the B cap, but you just don't know. And this is the thing about this level of the game, you just do not know. Tastic and someone from the north are sat on the bench for Loca, and Flytix is sat on the bench for Serenity. So there we go. Time for prep is over. Kickoff time commences. Hit points, wow, they're in favour of Serenity. They do have more heavies, to be fair, what with the T22 and the 268 on the side of Loca. And it is just under 1,000, which is pretty significant at this level. It's not majorly significant. I mean, if 1,500 becomes even more significant, but it's still significant. So what have we got to look for here? Well, actually I got it wrong. Loca's on the other spawn. Yeah, so I know what they're going to do with that 268. So Serenity are looking for that A cap strat. They're going to send Peepoo Jail and Peepoo Devil over here. And you can see that Loca, wow, the Kranwagons of Ventastic and Uni Pinjani are going to come up to this area, supported by Foxtastic, who's going to sit at the back. B-Cap, wow, that's going to be straight and aggressive strat. Vanasaur and Oot, both in the Vickers and the T22, jumping in there to put pressure on. Didn't give Peepoo Dog time to get round there, to be fair. And if you can see, you've got the Kranwagen of the Phoenix just holding into that position I said. Playmaker in the IS7 is over the other side, so shots going in. Foxtastic now has come up to this area. That's sort of... Oh, Peepoo Dog gets a bit of a smacking there. Peepoo Jail has sort of managed to see Ventastic and Unif Pinjani. Peepoo Devil can't really get out of his position anymore. A-cap will be taken, but Loca do have the advantage at the moment on the bases. Now they're rotating round. They may be looking to take into the C-cap. We're just going to have a look at what Foxtastic's doing. Well, Foxtastic is looking here. They know that Peepoo Devil is there. Peepoo Devil, however, is in a good position. Oh, that's a great shot by... was that an HE roll, I believe, from Foxtastic. Peepoo Devil thinking he was pretty safe. Now, if you have a look at it, you've got Vanasaur on that ramp like they said they were going to stick an E5. He's putting pressure on them, so if they come down this ramp, they're going to get smacked by that 268. Peepoo Dog knows that, which is why he's staying completely out of there. So they've gone up high and tried to push round here, Serenity. Playmaker is there for that reason. He's in that little dip, which is a great position to be in, especially if you've got a tank like an IS7, which is nicely hauled down. So it's going to be an interesting one. It is going to be an interesting one. At the moment, Serenity are on the back foot. Loca do have the advantage, as I said. So Serenity need to look at where they're going to push. Loca have stacked their tanks nicely. I mean, look at that 268 overlooking, along with Unif Panjani there. They are overlooking, so they may, if they get spots onto this area, which is here, I mean, Spitfires is spotted. He's not in the line of fire of 268 there, but Alpha is. And shots are going into Alpha. That's coming from the other side of the map. That was only Punjani sitting him. And that was the 268 of Fantastic smacking him as well. So they are in a bit of a tears here, Serenity. I'm not going to be lying. Peepoo Dog, well, he's in safety because there's not much he can do at the moment. If he tries to push in, then the Phoenix is going to hit him. The Phoenix is just hiding behind the building. Let's have a look at where Loca's stacked up here. So Vanasaur and Ut are just on the back. Phoenix is overlooking the B cap. We've got Fantastic and Unif Pinjani there overlooking the entire map, basically. We've got Alpha staying where he is for Serenity, and the rest of Serenity rotating around here. Probably looking to push down onto this area, but it's going to be difficult. I mean, Fantastic has got himself in a great little spot. Not going to be easy for Serenity. Peepoo Devil here, well, I mean, if we have a look from his viewpoint, he hasn't spotted the 268, and he can't, and they're nicely behind. So Loca at the moment do have control. Peepoo Jail is going up high. He wants those spots. He's just not getting them. Alpha is spotting Fantastic over there. Spitfires is rotating in towards the B cap to give Peepoo Dog a bit of support. Points are still in favour, and now Serenity make their move. They... Oh, Fantastic has moved out, so Unif Punjani may be the target. If they keep going with the 268, oh, Peepoo Dog really getting a tough hard time of it there. Serenity looking to drop into that C cap. Fantastic is looking to do something though. Only Punjani will get pushed. Fantastic wants to put Peepoo Jail out of the game. Is he going to get him? No, he's not. Peepoo Jail just puts himself into... Oh, that's a good shot into Spitfires though. However, only Punjani here. He is surrounded. Daze is trying to get shots in. He's got to be careful though because... Oh no, Fantastic can't get shots in there. Peepoo Plat, Daze, Peepoo Devil, Peepoo Jail is dropping into the cap. Loca may start losing their advantage soon, but Peepoo Dog is a one-shot, and the Phoenix knows that, and the Phoenix is going to be helped out by Vanasaur, coming to take down Peepoo Dog. Oh, but the Phoenix goes down first. Peepoo Dog survives. Now Spitfires gets a bit of a smack, but Vanasaur here is in trouble. He will take Peepoo Dog, but now Serenity have the advantage. Now your Peepoo Plat and Peepoo Jail looking to push onto Fantastic. That's a good roll. But now Peepoo Jail will be looking to try and get around the back of Fantastic, or even Peepoo Plat. Peepoo Plat trying to hold him off. Allows Peepoo Jail in. Fantastic's going to go down. He's not going to survive that. Back over here, Spitfires and Fantastic. Wow, they're tussling. It's even Stevens on the hit points front, realistically. But Spitfire should have the drop him in with the DPM. Fantastic does go down. Loca not got the advantage anymore. Now Fantastic is looking worse for wear. Spitfires should be able to finish him off. He's telling everybody to attack him. Alpha's had to jump down. Playmaker's jumping down to try and take him. Oh, there he goes. Playmaker should take Alpha, but they've got it on the points anyway. Great stuff from Serenity. Great move. Initially, that was great positioning by Loca, not going to lie, but what a move from Serenity. Really nice push. Really, really good stuff. Peepoo Dog going down, but doing his job. Really impressive stuff by Serenity there. So Loca will be looking to turn this around, dig a bit deeper as we go on to the second game. Swapping those spawn points. This time we will have Serenity on the south spawn and Loca on the north. I'm going to take some tea. There we go. Tea. Well, it's actually coffee. I'm lying. It's not tea. It's coffee. So, Serenity look like they want to be ready up first. Peepoo Devil in a Kranwagen. Peepoo Dog potentially in IS4. Peepoo Jail in a Vickers. Peepoo Plat in an E5. Spitfires in an E5. Daze in an E5. Alpha in a Kranwagen. Still waiting for Peepoo Dog. He hasn't readied up fully yet. Fantastic is in a 268 again. So, yeah, he's going to be looking to make use of that. He did make good use of it last time. Playmaker in a T22, the Phoenix in an E5, Vanasaur in a Vickers, Fantastic potentially in a Kran, Uni Punjani in a Kranwagen, and Ut in an IS4. We're Still waiting for Fantastic to ready up and Peepoo Dog, but they've got a bit of time and they're potentially in the tanks that you can see them in now. There you go, Peepoo Dog is in an IS-4, as he was last time. And Fantastic is in an IS-4. So, he wasn't in the clan after all. So, 1 foot into the semi-finals here for Serenity. Loca can change that though. They can change that. So let's see what they will do. So hit points in favour of Serenity again. This time just over 1,000, which is pretty significant to be fair. Let's get up high into the back of the map. So it looks like Serenity, they're not going to be going anywhere near the C cap. We've got Peepoo Jail going up in over. He's going to be overlooking the B cap. He may try and get a fast cap, but he's got to be careful because Playmaker is also on his way there. Peepoo Dog and Days are also looking to go up in over, with the rest of the team moving towards the castle monastery type area. Playmaker is already in his position. As you can see, we've got the Phoenix there in the E5, getting the position that we saw the Crown Wagon in. Vanasaur going up high, like we said when we did the flyover. Playmaker's going to swap places when Unif Punjani is going to be there in a Crown Wagon. Playmaker's going to rotate round and sort of put some pressure on. Fantastic is going to go to the position that we also looked at in the flyover. The IS-4s of Oot and Fantastic are coming in, trying to take that A-cap. We do have Peepoo Plut and Spitfires already there. Spitfire's getting a bit of a smacking. I think that came across from the... Yeah, it came across from Fantastic there, which is hardly surprising. That's what he's there for. So the A-cap does go. So cap advantage again goes to Loca. Now, we have Alpha and the other Crown Wagon here, a Peepoo Devil. Well, they're just trying to jostle into position here. They don't want to stick their nose too far out because they know that 268 is over there. There he is, he's rotating up the hill now. He's getting out of the position that he was in. He's going up the hill to get a better positioning so he can see more of the map. Peepoo Dog is going to go down to the ramp, and Daze is moving over towards the C-cap to get those spots. So Peepoo Dog will park his backside on the ramp like we pointed over in the flyover, and Daze is just going to sit here, see if we can get any spots. And Vanasaur has been spotted. So at the moment, again, it's in favour of Loca. Peepoo Plat is rotating back round. Spitfire's just holding here. Peepoo Jail is looking to get into the B cap. He may be able to get away with it. Yes, he is. Only Punjani is not able to put the shots in just yet. He may be able to reset there, though. Yes, he does. And unfortunately, the Vickers of Peepoo Jail not able to do so. But Punjani does get a bit of a smack back from Peepoo Dog. So just to remind him that don't smack the guys in my team. Peepoo Jail tries to get back into the B cap, but only Punjani turns around again. Loca are making a move down the flank. Daze could be in a bit of trouble here. And we've got the Phoenix, Playmaker, and Vanasaur there with Fantastic overlooking it. I mean, look where the gun is pointing. He is overlooking the B cap, but he could be in a good position. No, it's not Uf Punjani, it's Unif Punjani. It's a play on the name. It's a play on the name. It's not the Russian awesome player. It's an EU awesome player. Peepoo Dog is in a great position here, just keeping Unif Punjani's head down. Daze has got himself back into relative safety. Hit points are still in favour of Loca. No, sorry, still in favour of Serenity, not Loca. That was my bad. But movement has got to be made somewhere, and it looks like Serenity are looking to make a move onto these IS-4s of Oot and Fantastic, thinking that maybe the Object 268 is no longer there because they haven't seen him for a while. However, Oot and Fantastic gets out there, and Fantastic is rolling back around again. Peepoo Dog is being pushed by Unif Punjani here. At the same time, Alpha Daze is also being pushed. So I'm going to leave the one battle. They're going into the C-cap. Spitfire's in Daze there. Phoenix here is trying to get shots into the back of Peepoo Dog. It's all kicking off on both sides of the map. You can see here Daze dropping his reactive armor. Over the other side, the IS-4s are being pushed by Serenity, and they're being whittled down. Fantastic is now a one-shot. Playmaker pushing down onto Spitfires. Daze trying to take the battle to the Vickers of Vanasaur. Missing out there. Down goes Fantastic though. Daze is now effectively a 2-shot to this Vickers. Now he's a 1-shot. So they got to get the tanks out the other side. Unif Banjani is now a 1-shot. He drops down. Down goes Daze. Serenity are losing on the points. And you can see there, Loca are grabbing those points. Spitfires is also down, so 2 tanks down here for Serenity. Loca could be piling on the pressure here. They are looking to take out Fantastic. Oh, that's a great shot by Oot into the back of Peepoo Plat. Just as Peepoo Devil was trying to get around the back of Fantastic. This is not going according to plan. They've lost 3, but Vanasaur has gone down as well, so is Fantastic. So Peepoo Devil has got to get rid of Fantastic here. Fantastic has managed to wriggle out as Peepoo Devil tried to get round his back, but he does take him down. It all depends now what's going to happen with Peepoo Dog. Wow, he goes down. Unif Panjani and the Phoenix are very low. Peepoo Jail, however, is the only Alfie one, and he's in a Clan Wagon. Alpha, however, manages to take down Oot, so it's 3-on-3. Hit points are in favour of Loca. Playmaker is making sure of that. Good shot into the Phoenix by Peepoo Devil, but he's in trouble because he's got Playmaker breathing down his neck. Peepoo Jail in the Vickers needs to try and finish something off, or at least cap something. He's capping the A cap up. No, that's the Alpha and the Crown Wagon who cap the A cap. So Alpha here. Alpha is a 1-shot. Peepoo Jail is a 2-shot. And Peepoo Devil is effectively a 3-shot. So Peepoo Devil here has got a lot of work to do. The points are not in favour of Serenity, nor are the hit points, but it's even Stevens on the guns on the battlefield. Alpha puts a good shot in. Peepoo Devil is loaded a full clip. He's got a good 1-shot. That's the 2nd shot. He may be able to take out Playmaker here if he gets this good roll. He bounces. Oh, that's disastrous for Peepoo Devil. But he bounces. Oh, it's a low roll by Playmaker. Peepoo Devil has got to make sure this shot counts. And he does. Oh my giddy aunt. Now it's all change. Now it's all changed. People, oh, the Phoenix goes down. Loca had this, but great stuff and a brilliant individual effort by Peepoo Devil. My God, wow, played. That was intensive. I really thought Loca had that. I really did. Poor old Playmaker. I think he low-rolled, which will seriously annoy him. But Peepoo Devil, 4.2k, played a great game. He did, unfortunately, bounce that 1-shot, which I bet you he was going through his mind. I bet you he was cursing and going mad and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put my headset on because we're hoping to have a chat now with some of the other streamers. We'll go and find out. But whilst I'm just waiting for that, bear with me while I get to see who's doing what and when, because we should have other results coming through. So, Vale are into the semi-final. Good guys. Good guys. Turning over A1N1, and we will feast following them next. My clan. Yeah, baby. Against Serenity on Alpenstadt and Winter Malinovka. That's going off in about 15 minutes. So, let's see if people are around. I think Amunet is. Let's have a chat with Amunet. Ta-da!
Hello, budgets!
Hello, how's it going? Wowzers, eh? What a game!
I upped all the volume and turned down game volume, turned off my music and everything.
Wow. Who were you just with? You were with A1N1, yeah?
Yeah, A1N1 and Vale. And that was basically, it was a massacre.
It's, well, I've just seen Vale seem to have turned them over nicely, it appears.
Very, very brutally, actually.
Wowzers. Well, in my matches, Loca against Serenity couldn't get much closer. Could not get much closer. I really thought in the last game, Loca had it. I mean, they really, it was theirs. Peepoo Devil played a game of his life, to be fair, and turned it all around. It was fantastic to watch. Real nail biter. Real nail biter. I mean, Loca had the hit points. Loca had the base points. Loca, even at one stage, had more guns on the battlefield. But it
Ooh.
came down to a tussle between Playmaker in a T22 and Pipu Devil in a Kranwagen. Pipu Devil bounced his last shot, giving the advantage over to Playmaker because he looked like he was a one-shot. Playmaker low rolled.
Oh
he
no!
must have,
Oh my
he
god!
must have been kicking himself. Absolutely kicking himself.
Oh my god! I always feel for them, and I mean, getting outplayed is one thing, which is, as much as I love BBS, A1 and 1 basically smelled blood whenever they made a mistake, and they capitalized on it completely. And Vale just played very aggressively, but it worked very well for them. So it's kind of like, well, when you get a match like that, and you're literally just outplayed, I
Yeah.
think that hurts a lot less than when it's like so close and you lose due to RNG.
Well, that's the thing, and I mean, a couple of things. And firstly, it's great to see Loca making this comeback. They had a very
Yes.
disappointing winter, and they're slowly but surely on the move back to where they belong. I mean, they're in fourth place at the moment. Losing to Serenity today isn't really going to make too much of a dent in their aspirations for top 8. So, but boy, it was a close game. It was a close game. But Serenity are looking impressive, to be honest. They are looking impressive.
But to be fair, they're up on the leaderboard as they are for a reason.
Totally agree. And I mean, watching the gameplay, it's so far both games it looks like they're on the back foot. I mean, it looked like they're on the back foot against S4W, and they just don't seem to be panicking. I mean, in the games with S4W had the cap points in the first game, and it just like, yeah, okay, whatever, we're just going to push in this direction and feint push in that direction and just wrap it all up. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, in the second game, S4W, I personally think it was a badly timed push. They left it too late. They had a lot of ground to cover to get to the decap from their own spawn point. And Serenity just have this amazing ability at the moment to put their tanks in the right places. They kept some really good positioning. And they were, again, just able to take it. But Loca was a bit harder for them. It was 2-0, but that sort of is a misrepresentation. It sort of doesn't give justice to Loca. Because Loca really did hurt. They did hurt Serenity in both games. And in both games, I thought Loca were going to get it, to be fair.
But that's kind of the thing. I think that from the games that I've seen from Serenity, they play really smart. And
Oh, absolutely.
when it comes to supremacy games, playing smart can win you the game very easily. Well, not like easily, you know what I mean, but
Oh, totally. But the thing is, the thing I'm liking about Serenity at the moment, they don't look to be panicking. I
no.
mean, they probably are. I mean, Peepoo Dog was probably panicking like heck a minute ago, but it doesn't appear to be that way. And they just seem to be, you know, their focus fire seems to be very nicely coordinated. They seem to be moving to their positions, you know, as a unit with good communication within the team, and it's good to watch. And it's good to watch them develop this way because we all know that the likes of Endgame have got great focus fire and coordination.
Yes.
And to see the other clans now coming up to this level, slowly, is fantastic.
So yeah, it's going to be definitely a very interesting top 8.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I feel sorry for Raid getting up against Endgame. I don't know how that's gone, but
EG won.
I mean, that's going to disappoint.
I'm not surprised because it's EG.
Well, that's true. I mean, Raid were making a charge back to try and keep themselves in the challenges, and that's going to put them back a little bit with Vale going into today, because Vale's just nipping behind them. It's not to say that their hopes of getting top 4 are over in doomed and gloom, but it is going to be a challenge to get there. They do need the teams above them to really falter. And looking at those teams, I mean, IW are very good. Reti are playing well. Sparta have been very impressive. So it's a toughie for both those teams. And Raid would be disappointed that they drew against Endgame in a quarter-final. To be in the quarter-finals there. They won't be over the moon about that.
I was talking about that earlier, just the seeding abuse, how that seriously ruins things this season.
Oh, absolutely. And the problem is, and a lot of people don't understand it, they just think, oh, it's just a couple of 100% win rate counts. But when the groups are decided on the strongest, weakest principle, they only take the top 7 best players. So these clans, these teams have got 10 players, and 3 of them are discounted, so the 3 lowest win rates are discounted. Now, if you've got a clan with 3 100% win rate players who are all going to sit on your bench and never play, you've already got a massive advantage. And this is why you're seeing these buys, and you're seeing, these teams getting into buy rounds, without facing serious opposition, pushing the clans who are not manipulating it into draws like Raid against Endgame in the quarterfinals, basically. And exactly. I mean, I'd love to be able to sit here and say, oh, these clans are outrageous, but in fairness, Wargaming haven't addressed it. We've pressured them. They haven't sorted it. They've given a green light, so to speak, which isn't the right message. To be fair,
no,
it's just not the right message.
I will still not agree or talk in favor of any of the clans that actually use this. I guess
I don't.
And everything, but that doesn't make it okay.
No, I can't disagree with you there. I can't. They've got to stop it, but at the same time, whilst I can't fully sit here and say, oh, you clans are bang out of order, I can't actually sit there and say that this is a good thing and everybody should do it, because that then makes a mockery of the entire thing.
To be fair, I kind of feel that in this season, knowing beforehand that that this would be allowed, I kind of do feel that everyone should have done it, because that's the only way to even out the matchmaker then.
Well, that's true. It is the only way to even it out. But I know of some clans. I did a tour talk with Rolling Swarm, and we had people jump in. And some clans, for example, Vibes, refuse to take part because of this. Because they know that their overall win rate isn't going to be, absolutely amazing like these top teams. And they're refusing to put 100% win rate accounts into their team to gain that additional advantage. So it's been a mixed bag. Some teams have said, well, okay, let's bite the bullet. If you can't beat them, join them. Other teams have said, I'm not taking part because I refuse to do that. And I sort of understand that, and it's caused a lot of consternation throughout the tour scene. Especially on other servers like NA. It's disastrous for them.
From what I've understood is that all the top 4 teams of NA, and NA is fairly predictable in that manner throughout the years, none of them got a buy. And it's actually the 100% win rate accounts that got the other teams a buy that shouldn't have gotten a buy.
Absolutely. And this is, because the NA server and the tour scene on NA is so much smaller clan-wise, it has a much bigger impact. It has a huge impact. Because it doesn't just affect the group stage, the final stage, it also affects the group stage. And you get to see the top clans like Joker, who are riding, they were riding high. Their win rate on the strongest to weakest principle is actually quite low compared to, say, one of the other clans, I can't remember off the top of my head, who've got 3 100% win rate accounts, pushing them up. Yet they're not in the top 8. And, it's forcing Joker to come up against teams like Pramo in Rain. Now, Joker are good players, don't get me wrong, they're a great team. But they're knocking out the likes of Pramo, and they're beating the likes of Pramo in Rain, and it's causing this issue across the board.
I just read, apparently you're mega loud, so I'm sorry, I only just now adjusted the volume.
Well, there you go, look. So it needs to change. It does need to change. And I know Wargaming said they're working on it, but for the love of the game, they need to work on it a bit quicker. Because we can't do another season. Because if it goes like this, it's going to be a disaster. Either everybody's going to do it, or people are just not going to take part. And if they don't do it for the summer tour, it will just be a disastrous summer tour. To be fair.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do. What they're going to do for summer tournament at all, to be fair, because last year it was tier 8. So that's something else entirely as well. So I don't know.
Oh, I think Sirius did say officially that it's not going to be a tier 8. So I'm just hoping it's not going to be a tier 6.
speaking, possible.
Technically speaking, it is possible. So I'm just hoping it's not going to be a tier 6. It's definitely going to be a tier 10. To be fair, the tier 8 didn't work. Because whilst it opens the game up to a lot of other players, all you're going to get then is the 252 Chimera spam and the Action X, which is exactly what they got.
Tier 8 is the most pay-to-win tier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am discounting the Smasher and Annihilator, but those are only 2 tanks. In tier 8, every tank that you would have to drive is pretty much a Prem tank.
Oh, indeed. And, you know, it's not just that. I mean, when you've now got the Emil 2, which is a fantastic tank. I mean, it's a fantastic tank. And then you've got the Emil 1951, which is also a fantastic tank. And, I mean, the Emil 2 is like, it is almost tantamount to the same as a Kranwagen in tier 10. It's got that ability. And,
the only difference
you've got...
is that since they nerfed it, it's not nearly as competitive because you can just shoot it in the face.
Correct. But it's still, oh dearie me, it's still a bit, it's still a dangerous tank out there in the right hands. And if you've got a couple of those, a couple of Action X's, and a shed load of 252Us, it makes a mockery of it.
How do you want to do this, by the way? Do you just want to talk, commentate alone, and then talk again, or not? Or just commentate together?
Let's just commentate together, may as well. I don't see what the problem is.
And to be fair, I much prefer. It's just so much more relaxing because you have just a lot of less empty space to fill, so to speak.
Totally. I mean, we're going out on Alpenstadt with Vale and Serenity. Vale's already lined up. What are you thinking of their lineup there?
Let's see. Basically, just pretty meta with the figures as a spotter. I would expect overall action around base B and A here. It's not necessarily a C lineup.
Just for those who don't know, I mean, Vale have got Wunderkind back, which is great. We lost Wunderkind, but he's come back, and he's a great player. Is Wunderkind?
He's a beast.
Yeah, he is, and you know he's a great. He's been welcomed back with loving arms. Let's put it that way. Serenity, well, both teams are taking a traditional meta here, so it's not like the end game, let's try diversity like they did the other day.
That was really funny, though, from endgame.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it's nice that they did things like that to show that it's not just the standard meta, but I think Chocolat came onto my stream and said, it'll never happen unless they sort out the Kranwagen in the E5, because they're just too dominant.
Yeah.
And you can see that. I mean, a lot of the clans are taking Kranwagens and E5s. Even the IS4 is taking a back foot to an extent.
It's basically only used as a sort of like holding tank, the IS4 days.
Yeah, it is now.
A little bit more armor.
It is now. I mean, it's nice when that you see them taking different meta. You can sort of predict on certain maps. I mean, I'm surprised for Alpenstadt we're not seeing any super heavies like a Mouse or an E100, which likes to sort of harass around that B cap.
True.
With both teams going for, well, mobility, realistically. Mobility and haul down capability. Just looking at that makes me think, have they got the same strat in mind?
Not entirely. I think they're both... I'm not sure about Serenity, but Phil has so far played pretty aggressively. And basically just catching tanks out alone. Like on Castilla, you had one lone Kranwagen from the north side on the hill with the windmill, you know, not the citadel, but on the other side of the map. And Phil just pushed him.
Oh, wow.
And there was pretty much nothing A1 N1 could do about it, because after that they just kept rolling and just went for it. And
Wowzers.
They drove a sort of similar lineup to this. This has basically been their lineup just throughout the evening, as far as I've seen, because I only saw them the last matchup. But with that kind of aggressive gameplay, you catch your enemy off guard.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this, to see how they play it. I mean, they've got the point advantage. It's not significant, but it's a little bit. And they're all saying hello. Hello, guys. It's interesting here. I mean, I'm looking here at Lotto, Ego, Chihai, and Jori are all heading out sort of wide-ish, with the rest of the team sort of looking for the middle area. Tasting Killer really far forward there with that spot. But
yeah, but that's the thing. There are two spots here on this map on this side where you can spot aggressively without and getting away with it, basically. Even though that's very dangerous to do in tournaments, you only have like a split second. You know you can't stay still for a shot. It's just basically seeing where they are, and now they're very aware of where everyone is on Serenity side.
yeah, and I mean, it's like when I do when I'm doing the tours and we're doing Alpenstadt, where Pipu Jail just was in his Vickers. I mean, on public games they normally go to the train tracks and get those spots, but in the tournaments you generally get them going to where Pipu Jail just was. Now he's rotated out completely, but it's a good. This is what I'm saying about Serenity. If you look at their line on the mini map, they are all in a very nice defensive line, except Pipu Plas, who's now coming in. But they're in this beautiful line, ready to react to any part of the map.
Yeah. And in this case, Veil will have a slight point advantage, but basically, they've got less map dominance.
They have at the moment. I mean, Loro is quite a way forward there. He's taken the A cap and just pulled out a little bit, just to annoy Pipu Devil, Flytix, and Days. But it's over the other side. I mean, Tasting Killer is being focused a little bit here. He's got to get into safety.
Thing is, he's not alone. So if he tries to push C, he's going to get hurt a lot. So he's not really able to do that. Now it's a little bit more even, but I still feel that Serenity is dominating more of the map than Veil. That's also to do with the positioning. I feel that the south spawn, well, not south spawn, basically the red side for me, Serenity side, has stronger positions than Veil side.
I don't disagree. I mean, it is not an asymmetrical map, and that side where Serenity did spawn does have a slight advantage, to be fair. But I mean, Veil are doing okay here. I mean, they're sort of defending in depth around the A cap with the Kranwagen of Pipu Dog is getting very aggressive there.
Yeah, but he's not doing this to cap, because even if he gets reset, he's just staying in there until they have the point advantage. And then Veil will have to make the move. Now it's even, so he's going to go in just a little bit longer, just to get that advantage.
As you can see here, I mean, at the moment, Veil they had the hit point advantage, now they don't.
Yeah. But this was also just very clever gameplay by Serenity.
And this is what they've been doing all tour. Every PYS they've been doing the same thing. Not panicking, taking it coolly and calmly, and putting their tanks in the positions that they feel they can react best to any position on the map. And if you look at the way they've stacked their tanks up, they can react to any cap.
He's actually getting it now.
Oh yeah, and look where Spitfires is. I mean, Spitfires is just overseeing the B cap. They've got they've taken their eye off the C cap, but that's not going to bother them too much, to be honest with you.
They've got like near 100 point advantage now.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to bother them. I mean, Pipu Joe may be a pain down this side and sort of remind them that he's still there, but it's this A cap area that Serenity, and what they've been doing in most of the games is trying to get the other team to sort of draw onto them.
Yeah. But that you could also see that with Lauro, because every time he poked out, he got shot repeatedly. Just for being there.
Well, as you can see here, now, you know, Veil have sort of been spurred into action around the B cap. And again, look, Pipu Plas is able to rotate in. Spitfires has dropped down to a period of safety. Pipu Jail is rotated in as well to help out. And Wunderkind is just getting smacked.
And that's the clever way that Serenity plays. For me, it's lovely to watch them play. And you can see why they are basically the one making EG work for it.
Yeah, and they've been playing like this for the whole of the PYSs, and it's been really beautiful to watch. Really beautiful to watch. You know, there's just no panic, good positioning, good movement, good communication, good focus fire. I mean, Vermilio may be able to give Pipu Plat a bit of a hard time here. And he does. So Pipu Plat goes down. But Ego Chihai's gone. Jor is gone. Loro is in a world of pain.
Wunderkind not looking too healthy either. Basically, it's going up pretty evenly, but even if they don't really survive, there's so many low HP targets on Vale's side.
Well, it's all over. Yeah, there you have it.
Very patient play, and I kind of like that about Serenity. It's just like, kind of like watching chess.
Yeah, they've been incredibly patient, and I keep saying that, very collected and very calm, and they've been cynical in their movements, and you can see they've been working on it a lot. I mean, they played a very good winter season, don't get me wrong, but they weren't as coordinated as they have been this season. So they've obviously put a lot of work in between winter and now, and it's all coming to fruition. And Vale are not a team, they're not a poor team. They're a very good team. They were top 8 in winter. And, well, Serenity have just managed to sort of say, no, calm down. We are going to control this.
I am very curious as to what would happen had Vale actually played as aggressively as they were on Castilla. Because I think that would have actually worked better against Serenity than this, depending on where they would push. If they had pushed A, then they would be doomed. But like through B, that could have worked. And now they're definitely going for a way heavier lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I expected that, but then again, I mean, Serenity also are, so it's sort of even Stevens again. So, but I expected to see, some form of super heavy on this map. There normally is, so it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking the way Serenity are playing at the moment. It's very, very cynical movements, and they are making endgame work for it, and that's fantastic. It's not that I've got anything against endgame, but they've been so dominant. And we were saying in the winter season that the gap between endgame and the rest of the field was big. Well, it's slowly being closed, slowly being closed, and it's clans like Serenity that are closing that gap.
It's nice. I mean, I love watching EG play. No competition there at all. But it's nice to see them challenged. They actually have to work for it.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing. And Serenity will make them.
Yeah. Yes, I'm kind of hoping for a Serenity versus EG finals today. That would be lovely. I mean, I do always say that at this stage, all the teams now, except for Rati, are now Vilna as well. But like EG and Serenity are set for the professionals already. They don't need to try for it. So overall, I don't expect serious gameplay from them. Like, of course, they will play to win, but they won't be applying super tactics or anything like it. Taste and Killer doing the same thing now is actually a dangerous thing, and now he's actually paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, they were wise to it now. And you can see that Serenity are putting their tanks there, sort of expecting him to be there.
That was lucky for him that it was a good HE on his rear there.
Yeah, but he's lost 2/3 of his hit points. It's simple as that. And now Ego Chihai, well, he's going to be toying with Spitfires there. Spitfires has got Pipu Plat in support. So, I mean, Vale will get the hit point, the cap advantage, sorry. They will get the cap advantage here. But they've lost a lot of hit points in doing so.
It cost them a lot to get it. And now they're basically going to dominate the top side of the map, which I feel has more lines of fire into the city than out of it, so to speak.
And I don't disagree with that. I mean, now, okay, Vale pretty much, they've got the base points, but look at the hit points, they've merely bruised a little bit Spitfires, nothing more than that, and now fly ticks. But, they've now got they've got three fronts they've got to cover. They've got to cover the left flank, the right flank, and the middle. And that's going to be difficult. Because you can see Pipu Dog now pushing over the bridge. And he's just going to sit on the bridge and really give them a hard time. And then at the other side of the map, it depends what a Serenity going to do. Pipu Devil's coming around on the one flank. Pipu Jail's got the other flank. And they are just looking to farm Vale here.
And they're just going after Ego. And this is basically what I love about Serenity. Take the time for this as well, because in this case, Ego can't move any way without getting
No,
shot.
absolutely. And this is the thing, and this is what I love about their positioning. They put their tanks in some amazing positions to be able to do this thing. And it's this is not unique to this game. They've been doing it all the games. And there you go.
Yeah.
Ego Jihai in a mouse is gone.
Yeah, normally I always say do not focus them. Oh, from Milo.
Exactly. E100's about to go as well now.
Oh, lad.
But this is the thing they're saying. They're calling out the targets. Do this, and you saw there, Vermilo got hit by about 3 or 4 there, and down he goes. So I mean, this is definitely Serenity's.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
think.
But it's just beautiful to see it develop, because it basically all started with Ego being in that position, and he couldn't do anything.
Exactly. And this is, I mean, Jory is having a hard time. I mean, there's 3 of them. Yeah, I mean.
Did you see what happened to Rudawa?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Poor guy. I mean, it's funny to watch a tank get sandwiched by 2 mice and basically hacked to death, but it's kind of sad as well.
And now, poor old Wonderkind. Well, he's not going to go down, but he was the last man standing here. He had 300 hit points. And this is how Serenity have been. They've been this cynical. And it's been beautiful to watch, as I said.
10k damage between the 2 teams, that's also saying something. Just with that crossfire and that patient gameplay, they worked them into... Yeah, like I said, Ego could not move in any direction without getting shot at.
No, absolutely. And, I felt a bit sorry for him. But, I mean, if I'm being totally mean, Ego shouldn't have been there. It's the wrong call, especially if the team are going to the C cap. If there's nothing going towards the A cap or even spotting on that flank, then you're opening it. You're putting a tank out in the open, effectively. Ego should have been over the other side of the building, where he would have had support.
So
yeah, exactly. So he would have had at least some support from his team. Now I don't know if that's a call. I don't know if that was Ego's decision. I don't know if that was the strat. If it's the strat, then obviously Vale have got some scratching of their heads to do to say, well, maybe we shouldn't have done that, because Ego was just farmed to oblivion from the other side of the map. And there's nothing, you're right, he can't go forward, he can't go backwards. In that position, normally you would drop back down into the creek type river area. Can't even do that. There is nowhere for him to go.
And that's the thing, like, for normal games, this would be a totally acceptable position and would be weird to not be there. But versus Serenity, basically this is what makes them a potential match for EG. Just that whole playing it patiently, but also reading the game more.
Yeah, and I mean, I normally say when I'm streaming Endgame that the thing that Endgame like to do is dominate the map, and they like to control the battle. And what you're now seeing with Serenity is exactly the same mentality. They're controlling the map, they're controlling the battle, and they're forcing the other teams to play Serenity's game, not the other way around. And that then becomes a bit of an issue for the other clans.
Wrong button. Never mind me.
Because then they're playing catch up.
Yeah.
I can't fault Serenity. I mean, Serenity have been playing so well. They really have. And, I just hope that it continues along this line for them. And you're right. Even if they get the final today against Endgame, we're not going to see super duper strats. They're not going to give their game away or their hand away at this late stage, with an eye on the Pro Tour coming up. They're gonna keep their other strats close to their chest, and I can't blame them, because
the thing is that they really do not need to show their trump card.
No,
there's absolutely no reason.
Totally, and that's the thing they need to do. And they're still going to give it a go. They're not going to roll over. Obviously, they're still going to give it a good game. But I don't think you're going to see either Endgame or Serenity, if they're against each other, pulling out their top strats and turning it around like that. They're just.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, carry on.
I think at most they will try new strats. Like for the maps that they have. I mean, if there's any, well, they know that Serenity won't be playing like fully all in it either. But you can test a little bit as to whether something works or not.
And if Endgame's previous is anything to go by, they're going to try strange meta.
Yes. And to be fair, that will be very funny to watch.
Absolutely. And I mean, they like doing their strange meta. And okay, as I keep saying, Chocolate says it's to diversify, which is a great thing to say. But, you know, in the one game, it was just all auto-loaders. I mean, they've played some strange stuff. But they've made it work. They tried it. Who did they try it against the other night? They tried it in somebody the other night. I think it was Serenity, and it didn't work. So they went back to a traditional meta in the decider, which was interesting. I think that was Serenity. But yeah, if they've got Endgame, then I'm expecting some strange meta selections in the first game at least.
Yeah, they do have Endgame. It is Endgame versus Serenity, so that's going to be fun.
Oh, there you go then. So we are going to see some strange and confusing meta, maybe from Endgame. I mean, as you said, and as I've been telling everybody now, these two are very safe. It doesn't matter where they come in the table on the PYS. All that matters is getting into the Pro Tour. It doesn't matter if you come 7th or 1st. Doesn't actually matter.
Exactly. So yeah, I always remind people of that, because even with the previous skills, some people just expect really epic gameplay. And though it will be epic in its own way, it's not Die Hard.
No, it's not. I mean, they normally reserve that for the next stage. I mean, they'll pull it out if they feel that they're up against it and they may not make the top 8 when they should. But then it sort of it doesn't help them, and we've seen that. I mean, sometimes they try a bit too hard, and then it just they make silly mistakes, and it doesn't help them. And with the greatest respect to Raid, they've made a few silly mistakes in some of their games for Spring. To be honest with you, because they've been hard done by, and they've been trying to get back into the top 8. Loca, on the other hand, have sort of resisted that and just played steadily and kept their footing. And in Vale, again, we probably just saw there, they're probably trying that little bit extra harder to get those additional cups because they are currently in the Challengers Tour. Simple as. And they want to get back in the top 8. So you get mistakes being made at that level. I mean, they're not infallible, these guys. They're totally not infallible.
Someone in my chat just said, so calculative, it is beautiful, even though I feel sad for Vil. And that's exactly it, really.
Absolutely. But as I've said, I mean, I love watching when teams play like this. I mean, Vale is my clan. I love Vale to bits, and obviously I'll wave a flag for them every time. But you've got to admire the gameplay Serenity are pushing out there.
Yeah.
And it's not like the guys from Vale are not good players. They are fantastic players. They were top 8. They're brilliant players. And it's not like, Serenity is just full of all the best unicums on the EU server. It's just that they seem to be more coordinated. They seem to be more relaxed, more chilled, and more focused. It's just that. And, regardless of who you love and who you hate, when you see clans playing like this, it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant.
For me, that is why I stream tournaments. For me, it's not about the stats or specific people. I stream for those calculating games. That is what I just love watching.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, I love the way that, it's trying to get... I mean, at the moment, because we got the free cam now in the replays, I love doing sort of overviews of the maps before we go into the games. And it's just so difficult to generally predict what strat they're going to pull out, especially the likes of Serenity, because they play a different game. They're not playing the...
doing that.
Yeah.
The previous meta that we had, gameplay was pretty predictable because you had T22s, FV 215Bs, and E5s, and that was basically it. And that is very different now.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. And well, it's also very different when you try and say, oh, here we are on, say, what shall we say? Let's say here we are on Winter Malinovka, and you're going to get a couple of clans sending some of their heavies towards the sea cap, but it's not going to be like a public game where they're all going to be around here, or on Port Bay. On Port Bay, public games, everybody goes to sea and we have a big brawl, and you generally don't see that in tournaments. And then Serenity go and do that. It's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but exactly that. So I've actually stopped calling where I think people will go, because, and that's also a thing, regardless of lineup that people take, when you're in a tournament together, you can go anywhere and make anything work. Because
and these guys,
people listening.
And these guys do, and it's. I was talking to Gaseo Jones previously, and they had a beautiful strat on Yukon, where I said, "Oh, you never see everybody pushing their tanks through the decap," and they did. They pushed every single bloody tank through the decap,
Nice.
flanked completely round the back, and caught the two Mal super heavies sat in the B cap, and just absolutely annihilated them with the 250Bs, and it was beautiful to watch. And you sit there scratching your head saying, okay, sorry.
That shouldn't have worked. Yeah.
That should, exactly. Yeah.
The first match I had on Yukon today, A1N1 took two mice, a VK90 and an E100. And basically BPS had the point advantage.
Okay.
And then then A1N1 started pushing, and instead of responding to it as they should have, BPS basically waited for them, and that let them use that armor to the max advantage.
Absolutely.
That is why, in that case, it was definitely BPS lost rather than A1N1 won, so to speak. And it was basically, I did not expect that, because seeing that lineup, when you know they have so many super heavies, you know where they're going to be.
Oh, and that's what I love. I love it when you sort of see the clans being taken by surprise by the strat of the other clan. It's like, oh, we didn't expect that.
Exactly.
and that's exactly what BPS did. I mean, Gaseo said, yeah, well, we saw it work. We didn't think it was going to be that great. And boy, it was just so effective. And you could see the panic in the other clans, like, what, eh? Because they went to the outside of D, so they're completely covered. It was just brilliant, completely unbelievably good. And that's what's so great about some of these tours. You get to see things like that, interesting ways of doing things. And, it's like, it also helps, and I keep telling this to people, even though it's a different type of gameplay, and it is, but it also helps when you watch these guys, when you see them taking their tanks to a certain position, you can use the same positions in normal matches, because you know that E4 or that IS4 or that E5 is in that position because it's a haul down position, and they know that they're not going to get smacked in their bottom plates.
I do want to add a note to that though, because I've also seen on Normandy teams take Leos. And they put them in the TD spots. That is not what you should do in random battles.
No. And, funnily enough, when I did the overview of Normandy earlier, I said exactly the same thing. We are seeing now in the tournaments T22s and Leos being put at these bunkers overlooking the ACAT, where you'd normally find a TD, or up in the houses where you'd normally find a TD. Don't do that in public matches.
Exactly.
They're there for a reason.
That is where the part comes in, where it's just basically you have two whole teams, so they will be able to work things and positions better because they have 6 other players that are counting on them to be in that position.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, people were saying to me, they've said to me in the comments, why are they sticking a Leo there? Well, because 1, it's got a fantastic gun. 2, it's a great sniper, and it's unbelievably accurate. And 3, it's got some amazing mobility that it can just get around the map and plug gaps where it needs to. But if you do that in a public game, then you're not using it to the strengths, because you may have all your team going to the C cap on Normandy, nobody going to the A cap. It's completely different.
And I always feel that some people forget that.
I think they do.
Definitely learn from tournaments. Learn where your team is going and where you should be and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just like, don't take everything for granted. Do still use your brain.
Yeah, it's like the other thing I've been saying to people, because again, a lot of people forget this. At this level with these guys, every little teeny tiny mistake is sort of magnified, because their opponents are equally as good, and they've got equally good win rates, and they're equally good players, and it becomes unlike a public game whereby you can bounce the tanks here and there and get away with it. Here you can't. Every shot needs to count, and you then start seeing, we've got People Devil in my chat saying hi People Devil. It's like that one there. I mean, I felt so sorry for Playmaker. It looked like he low rolled in his T22, leaving on like next to no hit points. And in a public match, you probably get away with that. In a tournament match, you don't, and it's brutal. Exactly. It's absolutely brutal.
So yeah, room invite should be up.
Let's have a look.
About a minute. Just been showing some realistic replays, realistic mode.
I've just been showing a few replays, yeah.
Yep, room is there. So EG versus Serenity, that's gonna be lovely. Even when neither team wants to take it seriously.
I am still interested to see. Oh, it looks like at the moment they're taking traditional meta.
Ooh, not Serenity.
Although we are, but a Serenity, I can see. Yeah, exactly. I can see a 113G and a 260. In fact, I can see two 113Gs.
Yeah, this is what I mean with I don't think they're gonna take it seriously.
But they don't need to. I mean, they're both safe, and why beat yourself up now and get into a Tiswas when you can just have a chill and have a relaxing game? There's nothing really at stake, and they both know that.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Yes, of course, winning is always nicer, but it doesn't really matter. So that sort of stuff also helps.
No, it totally. And, I keep trying to say to people that, I mean, I've played tournaments, not at this level, but I've played, tournaments with these type of teams. And when you come up against an opposition of this level, it's really nerve-wracking. It really is intense. And it's actually mentally exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. And I remember I streamed one the other week and somebody said, oh, look at Fuji, he's like super concentrated. You are, because it's a completely different style of tournament. I mean, you go out in the quick tours and you have a bit of fun. When you start going out in the season coin tours and you're coming up against these type of clans, it really is so intense. As I said, every mistake is magnified. You want to pen those shots. You don't want to make a mistake. You just grip that tablet that little bit extra harder, and the concentration is a little bit more. So when you've got nothing to lose like they've got here, it's nice to have that sort of chilled factor, I think.
Yeah. I remember that when, basically, in my clan, if we do a tour, it's only the quick tournaments. Because statistically, we're pretty good players, but we're not good tournament players. And whenever we register for another sort of tournament, we get put against clans like EG and Loca.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Which is not relaxing.
No, it's not. And I've rolled out with Immor Raid, Immor Vale, and the likes of that, and they get, because of their win rate, they get matched up with these guys, and it is intense. And you're only doing 5 games realistically, and you come at the end of it, you come out and you say, "Oh, I'm so tired." Yeah, I'm just so tired.
It's exhausting to have to concentrate on this level. That's also one reason why I'm very glad that I just get to stream it and don't have to play it, because it's be real.
Well, totally. I mean, fair play to these guys. They do it day in, day out. I mean, they are used to it, but again, it's still, when they get to the next stage, the Pro Tour, then it's a little bit different because it is a lot more intense. They want to get to the top, and it's not about the money and all that sort of stuff. It's about getting to the top and being number one on that server.
Mm-hmm. Look at by the way, the lineup from Serenity.
I know, it's brilliant. Although, to be fair,
I do really love the Object 260, but I wouldn't say it's a clan Mustang.
They made it work. I think I streamed them in yesterday on this map, and they made it work. And if they do the same strategy yesterday, then they're going to go to the position that we tell everybody in our videos and everything to go to on the public games, over the other side of the river, overlooking the sea cap. And they really made it work. And those two, it was Pipu Plat and Spitfires, I believe, yesterday, and they farmed to their heart's content.
Yeah, then it can really work, because then it's like a specific strategy for this specific map.
Mm-hmm. But this is endgame, and endgame won't be sucking into things like that.
No, and when I have two T22s versus two 260s, I'm not entirely certain who would take that home. It kind of depends on whether or not the team on the other side is going to get some shots in as well.
Well, this is the other thing that a lot of people miss in the public games. I mean, what these guys don't get to see the teams like we see them. They do get to see the teams now when they start the countdown. And the important thing is, endgame will say, okay, they've got 260s. Where do you think they're going to go? We think they're going to go here. Let's go there. Blah blah blah. And they get to sort of try and anticipate the strat. And a lot of people don't do that in the public games.
Yeah. But that's also the thing. I think with basically we rarely have new players in the scene. All that happens is that the players switch clans. But that also means that people know each other. And even if they haven't been in a team together, they know each other very, very well. And I think that at some points, the intuitive calling that Serenity does works better than planned strats, because you makes you a lot less predictable.
Oh yeah, it does. And at the moment, oh no, they are moving. We're getting a bit concerned then. I saw somebody say something about lag, and it was Pipu Plat. He did say lag. So yeah, they're a bit.
They're a bit slow to get places. Oh, they crashed.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying room lag.
Well, at least it's
I
happening
did see
on both
that.
sides.
Yeah, I mean, although I think Endgame are just trying to push Carolade up there, and because of the lag, it's not working. Finally get him up there. So, somebody mentioned this on the Discord server, on the tournament side, on the big Discord server earlier, that there was room lag in one of the games. So clearly they're experiencing it as well here. I mean, I'm just looking here. My ping is fluctuating, to be fair, up and down. It's going quite high.
Susie Bay being very aggressive here. Not necessarily a good call. Serenity playing quite aggressively here.
They are, and they've sent those 260s where they sent them yesterday, but as I said, in-game aren't going to bite. They're not going to bite on that. And
No,
whilst that's been going on...
Bases,
Well, I was about to say... Yeah, and whilst that's been going on, Endgame have been taking the bases. Which is ironic, because Endgame generally don't take the bases.
And basically, this is what I like about EG. They're currently just like digging in and letting teammates do the damage overall. Caroline is being focus fired by Pipo Devil, though.
Yeah, but look at Winch. I mean, Winch.
On him.
Absolutely. Winch has now been spotted. Took a while, but he's got there. Oh, that's a great move by Winch.
Yeah, that's just going to farm.
Yeah, it's a great move by Winch, getting around the back there of Pipu Devil. Oh, Pipu Devil missed. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, Winch is lucky.
How did Pipu Jail bounce that? I mean, come on, Winch. I need a Stalanium.
But he's basically occupying 3 tanks on his own.
Yeah.
That should give EG a definite advantage on the other side.
Well, it does, but Spitfires are going to take out Susie, and Susie's gone. Now he's going to try and get down to Carolade. It's a good move by Spitfires.
Carolade is not shooting.
The ping's going up and down again. I think they're experiencing a lot of lag in the game.
Yeah, I think that this is not the most healthy game, so to speak. Lots of low
No.
HP targets, but kills are not being made enough.
Well, Spitfires has gone down, but Caroline is still alive.
No, not for long though.
No, very true. But I
Look
think
at the
Romka...
HP. Like, this is not like EG. The focus fire normally is just on point.
Yeah, I think they're struggling with this, with the ping and the lag. It seems to be a bit sort of suspect.
Yeah. And some very dodgy shots that shouldn't be dodgy.
Mm-hmm. You've got trying to take down... Yeah. Two against too many.
But it will all be about that last base that EG now has. And if they can take up Hippo Devil, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, Hollow Purple here is trying to give Flytix a hard time. He probably will, because he's just waited to load his clip. There you go.
Now if they just survive, Hippo Devil moving in is actually a dangerous thing here. Because that's anyone that they need to take out. And there we go, they take it. That, seriously, Hippo Devil here pushing in is what costs Serenity the game.
Well, there's that, and there's also the argument to say, how come Daze didn't put some fire onto Hollow Purple? And again, you know, I've got to question, are they suffering? Because they were suffering from lag, that was clear. There was a bug going around.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're experiencing in the game, but
in this
yeah,
case,
it looks a bit weird.
Daze went after the Ice Fall because of lower HP, and they needed to take him out or to drive into base C to keep them from getting points. But Devil actually pushing up with them, yeah, that gave them the upper hand. And in this case, again, it doesn't matter what happens in this matchup. That's also why I think there won't be too much drama about the lag, which was obvious even to us as streamers that it was there.
Yeah, it was very, very weird. I mean, when they started, I was like, hang on a minute, the 260s aren't moving, why not? And I saw somebody say, I didn't see who it was, somebody at the very off said, guys, lag. And then it was Pipu Platt, and then he came back and said, big lag, there must be a bug. So yeah, there was something going wrong there.
And hopefully it will be better this match. We're seeing, oh, look at those, just Kranwagen Wolf back with 260s and 1 E5.
Yeah, but Winch has jumped into his E100 and Romka into his 113, so that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's gonna be.
It's nice that there's no pressure at least, because that makes lag and everything just less important.
And that's the thing that they're you know, they're just having a bit of fun. And if there's if this was a game that mattered, then I can imagine that the chat would have been a lot more toxic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, can you imagine this happening during professionals?
Oh,
when
heaven forbid. Matters. Well, it has happened. I mean, if you cast your mind back to poor old RG of Loca lagging out against Raid.
That was so sad.
And you know, you have to feel sorry for them, but you know, when it happens, it is horrible, and you can see that the pain, even though you can't hear what they're saying, you can just feel the pain that they're going through.
Yeah. So yeah, now the not really present pressure on Serenity, because it's only a best of 3.
Yeah. Those 2 6s again are going to go out wide over the river most likely, and last AFK is probably going to rotate around there as well.
Yeah, it's just that. But I think the downside of taking the 260s is that it's so obvious where they're going to go.
Well, there is that.
They will have been training against each other. They will have been watching the streams. EG will know what they're doing. Especially since one of them got spotted. So they know the other one is going to be there as well.
Well, EG now know that there are 4 tanks there, because last AFK has seen the 2 Crown Wagons and the 2 260s. So that's why there's a push on the other side from it.
Exactly, they're just abandoning base A because they don't need to take it now. They just can take out the tanks.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about spotting, which I trying to explain to people. The information that last AFK is sent back to the rest of the team is crucial.
Yeah.
And and it's just allowed the rest of the team to just say, forget A, push.
This is basically what I love about tournament matches like this. They smell the weakness and they just jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
Winch arriving across the middle. And now, Serenity came out of this a lot better than I expected that they would, to be honest.
They have, and it looks like they're now going to try and put a lot of pressure onto last AFK here, whilst the rest of the team is consolidated with the push. Winch is going to spring into action, though, as much as you can spring in any 100.
That's the thing. 2 tanks going after last is giving EG the advantage here.
Oh, yes.
And that is something that just basically, it's a trap. The whole move by last, going after those 260s, is a trap.
Exactly. I mean,
targets though.
Totally. I mean, the last AFK there was basically just the sacrificial lamb to tie things up.
Yeah.
And now they're just mopping up endgame. That's all they're doing.
Now that
poor old
fire is important.
Yeah,
and
poor old days.
Where they're hard to shoot.
And the chances are they're going to leave these 260s till last. Because they're quite easy to pen, to be honest.
Oof.
Especially when they're not hauled down like that.
Yeah. This is the thing. I absolutely adore the 260, but it is in heavy. In tournaments, it will work in certain positions. Winch still alive.
So Alpha has just come into the chat and explained that the game started and they're all still in the room. It didn't kick into the game.
That's not a good thing, generally.
That's why nobody was moving.
Oh, bless. At least, like we said, it's not at a time that it actually matters.
Yeah. It's going to make no difference to their positioning. I mean, they're still going to be second, endgame is still going to be top, and they're still going to be in the top 8, and they're still going to be in the Pro Tour. So,
exactly.
No great loss, no big deal.
Oof,
and Peepoo Dog gets... Peepoo Dog gets the token kill at the end there, so that was nice. Winch, meh. I mean, they were just chilled. It wasn't, when we get to the Pro Series and these two meet up, it'll be a completely different kettle of fish, I can assure you of that.
And then matters a lot more.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be...
will be calculated. And in this case, I do last one EG this game, both by the spotting in the beginning and then that troll move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to see a different Serenity and a different end game in the Pro Series. Yeah. And I mean, at the moment these two are riding high, they're not really putting any feet wrong. As long as EG managed to take tanks, a team out with more than 6 tanks, then they'd be good. Because they went out with 6 tanks against Vale the other day.
Oof.
Yeah. And it's the reason why in their next PYS, I think it was PYS number 4, their team name was More Than 6 Tanks.
That explains it, yeah. In the meantime, Vale did win from Rati, so Vale is 3rd today.
Well, that's good for them because that gives them some hope. And I said just to put you in the picture, I said to them in the chat, in the clan chat a while ago, don't throw the towel in, guys. I mean, it's not doom and gloom just yet, and it's within your grasp to get back up there, and they can do it. They can do it despite the MM being what it is. They are good enough. But it all depends on the day on the MM. I mean, as we saw today, Raid getting endgame in the quarterfinal is not healthy and it's not helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
And, there's some clans that are getting better MM because of, well, we know why.
Because of seeding abuse, I'm calling it as it is. Regardless of whether or not Wargaming forbids it, it's still abusing the system in a way that it's not meant to be.
And this is it is casting a long shadow. It is casting a long shadow across the tournament scene. I mean, somebody in the chat earlier, I think it was NetForce, said it's not just about what we're seeing. it's also demoralising the clans.
Yeah.
It's having an impact on the morale of certain clans, and I can understand that because it is a killer.
They have
To
to
be
do
honest.
so much more than they should have to because they're not getting the buys that they should.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So it is demoralising in that respect. And
Yeah.
as I said earlier, yes, they said they're working on it, but they need to sort of put a rocket up things, up backsides, and get it there sooner rather than later. Because we don't want to see it degenerate to the point where everybody takes 3 of these 100% win rate accounts.
It kind of
'Cause
has to be fixed by next season, or they need to
Yeah.
put in the manpower to basically put it in manually for now until the new system is ready. You can't do this season after season because it sucks the fun right out of it.
Yeah, it does, and you're going to have, as I said, demoralised clans you don't want to take part, clans who are saying, I mean, look at it from the other side. You're an up-and-coming clan, you're a new clan, you may be not into the challenges yet, you may be trying to get into the challenges. You're fielding a team with normal win rates, bunch of friends who formed a clan, and you're down in 20th place, and boom, you get a clan that is effectively top 16, fielding 100% win rates, that you feel that you could, on your day, give them a good going over, but you're not going to get to that because you've got to face the likes of Raid and Endgame and all these other clans to get there.
Yeah.
Why are you going to do clan wars? You're not going to. I mean, you're being effectively screwed over twice. You're being
that's
screwed over
exactly
because
why
you're playing
this thing-
Endgame. Yeah.
Less and less teams in the tournaments throughout the season.
And that's the thing, because you are being screwed over twice. You're being screwed over in the MM because clans that are, in fairness, equal to your ability are getting a buy, and you're being pitted against clans that are in the top 4 or even the top 8, top 4.
Yeah.
And you're just getting smacked in the first round. You're not progressing, and it's just a killer overall, is the thing. So
I
yeah,
know
they've got
that's
it.
kind of depressing, but unfortunately very real note.
Mm.
I'm going to end my stream. Thank everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the games. Thank the teams for lovely gameplay, bugs or no. And I'll be back on Friday.
Oh yes.
So thank you for joining me here, Fudgets.
No, thank you. I mean, I'm gonna end my stream as in the talking part, but you'll get to see the replay, and then after the replay, it will finish. I'd just like to say a massive congratulations to all the clans tonight for
Yes.
giving us some great entertainment. And again, as per usual, it's been lovely commentating with Aminet. It was totally unscripted as well. We didn't intend to do this.
We really just intend to talk between the games, but this is honestly, I adore commentating with you because it's just so natural. It feels natural. It's just relaxed. It's lovely.
It's yeah, and as I said, it was unscripted. We were just meant to talk between the games, but hey, never miss an opportunity to commentate
Yes.
with Aminet. So with that,
So
last
thank you
thing,
for
I
that.
just want to say one more last thing is a big thank you to all my mods because they're the unsung heroes of my stream, keeping the chat nice and friendly and making you focus on the game and not be trolls
Absolutely.
or toxic. So,
It's lovely
big-
to not have to focus on the chats more than you want to, basically, while you're streaming, and to just